The following is a presentation of iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the Talladega Super Speedway for the first of two races right here tonight in Talladega, Alabama. It's the LSRTV Friday night double feature on iRacing Live, and we get set for our continuing coverage of the Roddcar Truck Tour. They go 125, just a couple of moments away, on number 17 of 18 on a 2006. You along with us at the largest track in NASCAR for a long and competitive race tonight at 56 laps in length, and a race that could also end up with having our championship clinched before we go to Homestead next Friday night. We're happy that you're joining us topside alongside myself, Evan Prosocco, as always, joined by Andy Castro, Cisco Scarvoos, and downstairs, Andy. A lot of Talladega tonight, if that's what you're into. Trucks are here, the Cup guys are here for the start of the second round on the championship, and this series, this is a win for bragging rights, basically, because the title might be done by the time the green flag waves.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Peterson shows up tonight as a just somewhere up in so he's here. A lot can happen at Talladega. He's got to survive this one here tonight, but still just 20 trucks in the field for tonight's race, so he has a great opportunity to come out. 56 laps here at Dega.
56 laps on the board, and he has a 56-point lead in the championship. Interestingly enough, as that works out. And again, with a relatively solid finish here tonight, is if you can get through this one, and I think even if he does have a relatively poor night, looking at a field of about 20 trucks to take the green flag this evening, he would mathematically claim the championship here tonight. Of course, you're not going to be able to get the hardware until we go down to Homestead in Miami, Florida next week for the official season finale, and there are still plenty of spots up for grabs inside of the top 5, inside of the top 10 in the championship that need to be dealt with. I want to talk about Rodney Wofford for a moment, and we talk about how far Christian Peterson is ahead. The next driver closest to him is Rodney Wofford. Wofford just hanging on to a 9-point advantage, actually a 7-point advantage, back to Seth the Merchant, who sits third in the championship. Rodney Wofford has not gone to victory lane yet in this Truck Series campaign. Peterson in front of him has 3. Seth the Merchant behind him has 2. And there's other names inside the top 10 to be able to win. Rod Flag, Corey Henry, Shane McKeechin, those guys looking for a trip to victory lane.
Yeah, you can't forget about Casey Malone with 3 victories on the season as well, too, along with Brandon Chaburko. So a lot of drivers in the field with wins on the season, a lot of them with multiple wins, looking for that much more with 2 races left to go. So it may be a far stretch battle for that championship. But the best position possible in the final standings is what you're going for.
And the best possible spot to start this race, no doubt, is in front of the field of Talladega, the great equalizer, and we always get to go to a plate track for the second part of our doubleheaders, and we'll get there in just under 2 hours' time for the main event. But the trucks get set to take on their penultimate race on the year, and we're just about ready to rock and roll at Talladega. 125 laps next, 125 miles of action rather next, right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. So it's qualifying, get set to draw to a close. We'll get tonight's action officially underway and toss things down trackside with Jaden Berkey for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light that so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And with that, we are set to get tonight's LSRTV double feature underway from the Talladega Super Speedway. Qualifying has drawn to a close. The drivers head to the grid. Let's take LSRTV. Less than 1/1000th of a second. This one has to get to the 10/1000th of a second bracket to determine the Ray Rittenauer, the number 87 Chevrolet. He's faster than Ronnie Wofford by just the slightest of margins, and he'll get pole position for the Dega 125 and start to the inside of the front row, and with an identical time of a 53.886, Ronnie Wofford going to be the outsider on number 1 and starting in second position. Josh Ball, he'll qualify third for this one. It'll put him on the inside of row number 2. To the outside of that row, starting in P4, is Sean Boundy, and the fastest driver in the practice session, Matt Quick, sits just 1/1000th behind the 34 Boundy, and he'll roll from 5th.
Sixth place, how about the 26? Rod Flag will roll off on the outside of row number 3. Row number 4, that's Mark Jorgensen Jr. to the inside. Christian Peterson, our championship leader, will roll off 8th. 9th goes to David Anderson, and Dana Osborne rounds out our top 10.
Just behind you'll find Frank Basile, the number 94 Chevrolet, starts 11th tonight. Alex Allen, our outside row 6, the K&N Filters machine, is 12th. 13th position to the 13, Kelly Dahl. We'll see if that's going to be a little bit of good luck for the Canadian Air Force Chevrolet. And Ramon Evans in 14th position to the outside in his Chevy, rounding out your top 15 and qualifying, as always, the Goodwrench Service Plus Chevrolet. That's the 3 of Brandon Chaburko.
Daniel Holloway in the 27 will start 16th. 17th, last truck to take the one will start 20th.
And I think goal, but Shane McEachin going to take this one from the grid. The 28 Toyota Tundra is electing to start this race from pit road. It'll allow Jason Oltmans to slide up one position and find himself on the outside of row number 9 as opposed to the outside of row number 10. We pace down the Alabama gang back straightaway for the final time as we get set to drop the hammer and take the green flag on the penultimate race. It's round number 17 of 18 on the championship. But again, we mentioned briefly before we got tonight's festivities underway, the championship picture, at least for the number 1 spot, not really the major point of conversation into this race. A very close battle for second, though, with Wofford and Merchant, Flag, Malone, Henry, McEachin. Those are 4 drivers separated by just 9 points at a battle for 4th in the championship standings. There's still plenty on the line with 2 races left to go on the season.
There's plenty of time, plenty of things to get done, especially here at Talladega. A lot can happen, a lot will happen over the course of tonight's race, but we're getting set to get that underway. Pace car to pit road. Here's Evan with the call.
The pace car makes the sharp left-hand turn down and away, and we're set to go racing. We're happy to have you with us right here on LSRTV at iRacing Live. They're going to come out of the tri-oval and get them up the full song. Green flag in the air and underway from Talladega. Outside with the advantage across the start-finish line for the first time, and down to turn number 1. Watford a small advantage into the quarter. Inside, going to pull it as they get up through the gears, and next thing you know, Ray Rittenauer back in front by half a truck length.
Yeah, almost a full trunk length now as they exit turn number 2. Top side, though, really bunched up nicely. Right here, you'll see him getting a lot of speed as these trucks really get wound up now down the back straightaway. Rodney Wofford, with the help of Sean Bowdy now, going to pull out about half a truck length lead to that lead into turn number 3. We got Rod Flagg on the top side as well, along with that 71 of Christian Peterson, and those guys all looking to get to the front here rather quickly. Bottom side prevails for the time being. Sean Bowdy getting locked up again for another run at it off for turn 4.
That's going to give him the speed advantage, coming down nearly 4 degrees of banking. Lap number 1 is going to go to the books. They have not got off with the gas pedal yet in front of the field. Don't expect them to for the better course of this next 4 hours of racing right here on your home for live sim racing action at LSRTV. But the inside does have the advantage. Lap number 1 comes to a close at a rate right now. In front, he picks up the first bonus point on the evening. All 19 trucks that started were able to get up and go, and they sit within 1 second of the driver in front of the field in a 19-car lead pack. We mentioned Shane McKeechin, who exited pit road after starting from the box. He's all alone, and obviously not a part of this pack. He sits half a lap behind. He right now in the middle of turns 3 and 4 as your leaders come down and out of turn number 4.
Guys, we're hoping for one of those quick cautions here in this race, but with 20 trucks and how well these guys race at the Speedway, seeing that this is all they do coming up in the Cup Series here next, this is one of the favorite places for these guys, and now you get to throw them out there with the trucks and have some fun right now. And you can see them all trying a little further back, probably around that top 10 area there. Kelly Dalton at 13. Those guys all switching lanes. How about some 3 wide action? The 3 now of Brandon Jaburko looking way high now to the outside of the 27 of Daniel Holloway. Here comes the Altmans now to give him a hand. Basilia going to join the party up on the top side. We're going to continue 3 wide. How about 4 wide into turn 3?
And they're going to be able to squeeze down to the corner. Yes, sir. And the 3 makes a pass. And I was going to ask you in there, we are all surprised that Brandon Jaburko's going 3 wide, but 4 wide again off of turn 4. It's a tight squeeze. Much more room here than at Daytona International Speedway. They're going to run out of room. Big problems on lap number 3 and a huge impact coming through the tri-oval. Big one strikes early. Caution flag is out.
Yeah, I knew it was just going to be a matter of time before that all snowballed into effect right there. It looks like the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. ran out of racing room, went to the bottom, tried to come back up the racetrack. The 44 was right there and sets the 71 up into the wall along with the 7, the 94. All heavy damage to the 34, Sean Bounty as well. Many trucks involved in the first one.
Yeah, it was. It looked like just a little bit of an incidental contact. That on the replay, it looks a little bit more evident. The 44 maybe wasn't quite sure if he wanted to try to split the 88 into 7 or get in line. But to be fair, he did have a big push from behind. Again, nobody was lifted, and the contact doesn't even come up where Brandon Jaburko was. But he's going to be involved in this accident. 4 wide, and when the track's blocked in front of that, it does not normally end well. You get a good look of it on board as you come through that trouble off of turn 4 into the tri-oval as they came to complete lap number 3. And the 88 Jorgensen ended up on top of that outside retaining wall. He was in the catch fence and talking about somebody who just needed to get through the night, although he seems to be safe by points nonetheless. The week that all these guys have been waiting for comes a little bit late. Christian Peterson goes for a tumble in the middle of all of that. But again, that's not going to eradicate 56 points. Tough break. He'll be 19th on the board at the moment, taking a toe back down pit side. It is going to take a little bit of a dent out of that. You already talked about this is round 17. They've had the best 14 weeks counted in, 3 drop weeks on the championship. So I don't think it's going to completely get rid of the 56 points, but he should still be going to go into Homestead. Leader's not going to be coming down pit road this time. Most of the drivers up northbound are going to stay out on the racetrack. A couple of guys from inside the top 5 do come down, but no change for positions inside of the top 3. Right now are Ball and Quick all stay out. The pit stops begin behind them.
Yeah, just a quick opportunity for these guys, maybe someone with damage in that accident, to get their quick fix, get them repaired, get them back out there, get them able to compete some more here in this race. For some other guys, maybe an opportunity to top off as well, to maybe if this does go green flag, have the opportunity to go a little bit longer than those guys that did stay out. Rod Flagg, first one off of pit road. The crew did a great job down there for the service he got. He'll come back out in that 4th spot, right where he came into pit road as well, too. So not losing any spots for Rod Flagg. That's a good thing right there for him as well. But you got to think how much of this race, Evan, is a warm up for the one coming up tonight. I know the cars, the trucks handle so much differently, but you got to have a feeling these guys have, or at least using some of this as a practice.
Yeah, we always talk about how we'll see these trucks run before the Cup cars later on, and normally, not only are you in a different vehicle, but normally the trucks are at quote-unquote regular racetracks. So you look back at the last couple of weeks, we were at Texas a week ago, Phoenix the week before that, Las Vegas the week back was the season opener back on January 22nd from Daytona. That race went on to be won by Stephanie Lessentine, the one at you always hear the conversation if you're looking at the Cup guys who run in the Xfinity Series, and you're talking about how they can learn things for the Cup race. I think what you're seeing here tonight, and again, one of the rare weeks where the tracks line up, is not as much these guys are learning anything for the Cup race, but they're getting warm draft as these cars do. So these guys, not only are they trying to win this race, evidently, because again, we talked about all the points implications that are going to play into a factor here in these last 2 weeks outside of the championship itself, but I think maybe just getting in a big pack and going at each other, kind of getting your nerves settled down, getting a little bit of warm-up in there is going to help these guys out come 10 o'clock.
Oh, absolutely. Just to get the feel of speed, just to get the feel of the draft, making lane changes, getting your depth perception all set, ready to go. Because the race coming up tonight, I mean, it's the second round now. It's the first race of that second round, an all-important win for those guys, those 6 guys that are going for those top 3 spots in the championship race in just a couple weeks' time. So they have a lot of work, to do coming up. So you have to use this to, like you say, get the nerves out, get just the feel for the track, just kind of get an idea of what to expect, and maybe knock some butterflies out as well too for those guys that moved on.
Lights still on top of the pace car. Field was able to get it back in order again. Behind your top 3 is where we saw pit stops begin. Couple of big movers to note of P5 right now. Ramon Evans, he started in 14th position. In 8th position right now, Glenn Hedrick, who started in 19th position in the Hot Wheels Toyota. So a couple of guys going to take advantage of the trip down pit road. I don't necessarily think that stop was a fuel strategy call move. You talk about the procedures in this championship and how much fuel, the limited fuel cell that these guys are going to be running. We're going to take the green flag the next time around as lights go off in a pace car. You're not going 49 laps on a tank of gas. So we will see maybe if it plays into making it a one-stop race, if that's going to be at all a factor. But I think just getting a little bit fresher Goodyear Wranglers on board, get it back out there on the racetrack, and we'll see what they do this time. It was wild, man. We saw 3 wide, and we knew Brandon Chaburka was going to do that at some point, if we're speaking honestly, and they went with him. 3rd lane was working. The 4th lane was even working. The problems initiated on the bottom. So we'll see if they stay that racy. Again, a brand new build coming on the sim this past week. You can also see those brand new 2016 Chevy Silverado bodies who make up the top 7 running positions on the racetrack right now. So a couple of changes that these guys are having to get used to.
Yeah, a little different feel, a little different look to them, maybe a different draft package as well, too, for these guys. So something to get familiar with as well. But pretty cool design, a good change for the trucks, a good new look for them as well, too. So we get to see them, and you get to see a whole bunch of them right now up front of the field. And how about a couple teammates down on the bottom side there, Ray Rittenauer and that 89 and Matt Quick being able to line up right behind each other, tail to nose, and be a good restart for that 87 and 89. If they can time it right, communicate with each other, they can get a pretty good jump here on this green flag.
Pace car going to duck down for the second time tonight. Going to be our first opportunity to take a restart in this one. Going to have 7 laps behind us of a total of 56 in the Talladega 149. Still plenty of time to go. Still plenty of time to see big one number 2. Just because we saw carnage already doesn't mean you're in the clear. The pace car is, though, down to the safety of pit road. Second time tonight for the inside of the front row. It'll be Ray Rittenauer bringing us back to the green flag. They come out of the trial over the green nylon waves at American Ethanol. Green flag, and we're backing away.
At the start, I would have thought the 87-89 would have had on the bottom side. How about the 48 of Josh Ball now getting the advantage on the top side? Not going to keep it for long here. The bottom side, shortest distance around as they climb through the gears. That'll allow that 87 of Ray Rittenauer to get that spot, at least off of turn number 2. You can see him top side, going to battle back hard here. Rod Flagg trying to give that push. He's got Sean Bounty as well. The top 3 on the outside lane. They're on the move here into turn 3.
And interestingly enough, the outside was not the place to be early, but it is this time. Push all the way through and to the front. The Cobalt Chevrolet, Josh Ball. He'll take over the point at lap number 8. He hopes to lead the next time by, and if he can, he'll get the bonus point in the back pocket for leading the lap. I say that the outside wasn't the place to be because 1, 2, and 3 on the racetrack for this restart started 1, 3, and 5. That meant that they were the first 3 trucks to the inside of the racetrack. On the drop of the green flag, more problems behind in turn number 1. Hendrick going to get turned around. He'll go up on his lid and more problems.
Yeah, right in front of the field there, and it takes out the 89 of Matt Quick as well. Kind of minding your own business at that point of the race, and just ends up getting put up into the wall. How about the 3 of Brandon Chaburko involved with this one again here? That's going to be 2 in a row for him, but looks like Kelly Dahl in that 13, maybe a little bit of contact with the 21 right there. Maybe just trying to get back up in the line there, but forcing it 3 wide. It's not going to happen here. They're going to make the contact. 21 up into the wall along with the 89. Brandon Chaburko, more damage for that 3 truck, and a couple other drivers getting a spin in the back as well. A couple guys still safe, though. The 48, 87, they're going to continue on here.
Yeah, I initially thought that the 13 was trying to go up the racetrack with the 21 of Glenn Hedrick getting behind him because the 21 did move up about half a truck length. But based on the onboard, the 13 more so looked like he was trying to go to the middle, and it didn't work. He just nicked him in the left rear quarter panel. Even if he got there, I wouldn't be able to guarantee that that 21 wasn't going to be coming back down the racetrack, not knowing that the truck would have made that move into the quarter. Kind of a treacherous spot to do so, and it does lead to the second caution flag on the night. First one through the tribal, this one down in turn number 1. A lot of carnage early at round number 17. We're just 10 laps in to the Dega 149, and already at least double-digit trucks now have been involved in some accidents.
Yeah, it's a lot of carnage early on. I think maybe these guys get it all out of their system now. We'll probably have a long green flag stint. If I know these guys as much as we've seen them all season long, especially we've seen this type of racing in their Cup Series as well, too, having some quick early yellows, but then all of a sudden this thing will drag out to a long green flag run. So you could have that. That possibility is definitely there. As pit road's open, and again, a mixed bunch coming to pit road. 26 Rod Flagg once again will come back down. The 87 and the 48 decide to stay out one more time.
So he'll remain in front. Rod Flagg going to come down this time, and a fair mix of trucks I thought who pitted the last time were going to stay out. There's a couple of them that do so, but for the second time in a row, not everybody, but an overwhelming number of trucks going to come down for service, try to get those things fixed up for those involved, for those who weren't, get some fresh Sudoku race fuel, more Goodyear tires on board, to get set for the next restart. But Josh Ball, he leads the way 11 laps in to the Dega 149. We'll take this opportunity, step away, take a caution flag of our own, and we'll come back for the second American Ethanol restart on the night from Talladega. You're watching LSRTV's coverage of the Roddcar Truck Tour on iRacing Live. Back to Talladega, Alabama in a moment.
Did you know that Lion's sense of vision is so powerful, it actually enables nearby creatures to see better? Here we see lions assisting the offspring of others, while their parents are elsewhere in the wild. Brilliant, isn't it? Making the wild kingdom look much better indeed. Do good, be a lion.
Welcome back live to the virtual. Car Truck Tour rolls on tonight. Second to last race on the second season of Truck Series action here on Friday nights on LSRTV and iRacing Live. And if we're going to continue with the truck evening, we're also coming through P5 at a racetrack right now, and we're going to get set to go back at green flag conditions as we put lap number 13 behind us. Too early and two big accidents have slowed us down.
Yeah, two big ones by far. A lot of trucks involved in both of them. The first one, some 3-wide, 4-wide action is what really pinched everybody towards the bottom, caused the accident. But then this time, possibility of guys running, trying to get some real estate that was there, and then it closed up pretty quickly. 21-13, make some contact, 89-3, a bunch of other guys involved in that second one as well, going into turn number 1. So 2 cautions early. It will thin the field out just a little bit. Still 17 trucks on the lead lap. Looks like only 2 drivers may possibly be on Jason Altman's multiple laps down for both of them.
So we'll see if they cannot get a green flag stretch here. Try to get through to some pit stops. So the strategy for the rest of this one going to get a little bit more evident as the night goes on. And then they'll be able to get to a point where they can really start to go at each other. Not that they've been holding it back. We still got 17 of the 20 trucks that started on the lead lap, but still a little bit of uncertainty at where these guys sit in their trip to the checkered flag. For the second time, we'll take the green flag under restart conditions. Back it away from Talladega, and a dead heat that time. The outside barely going to have a nose advantage. That's happened all 3 times on the evening. Like in those previous 2 cases, inside with the advantage in the center 1 and 2, and Josh Ball back in clean air.
Yeah, the gap that Ray Rittenhour had between him and Rod Flagg really hurt them off of into turn number 1. Allowed 2 guys to get clear. 83 of Ramon Evans there in that second spot. They're going to battle back a little bit here, nice and bunched up on that top side. They'll get some speed into turn number 3 and at least close the gap now for the race lead. So we got 3 wide action again, a little further back. Looks like some trucks.
3 wide. They back it back down to 2 wide at the moment and up the middle. Last time we saw this, it led to a caution, but an icon machine of that 23 Jared Haggerty. He catches Rod Flag a little bit more off guard, ducks to the inside, and everybody's going to follow with him. The 94 Basilia in behind. The number 44 machine behind them as well. David Anderson in, and so on and so forth. And now to the outside goes the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Joining him, the 28 of Shade of Akichin. Rod Flag's got some help. Doesn't have any momentum, though. He continues to slide, but we're 3 wide in turn number 4.
Yeah, huge run off of turn number 2 for that 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Decided to go to the top side. Good thing for him, he got a little bit of help now. 3 trucks strong on that 3rd lane, and they're making some ground now as they work their way to that start-finish lane, and it just might be an 88 to the point here this time. It's going to be awfully close. It looks like the 88, Mark Jorgensen Jr. on that outside 3rd lane will take over that race for at least the time being. We're at the start-finish line. The middle lane now fighting back here. I'm surprised. The bottom side trying to make some ground up, but not going to happen here off turn 2.
And that's 3 wide, 3 rows deep. And these are trucks, remind you, at 197 and problems on the inside. Hard into the inside wall goes Ramon Evans. 3rd time a truck's going to be on its lid tonight. To this point, the other truck involved is going to be able to hang on, check things out as they come through the tri-oval, but a contact with, you saw the truck that got turned around on the inside of the racetrack, the 83, the 94 also involved. No yellow, though, after Evans got the worst of it. And 3 wide for the race lead. Can Jorgensen get the job done way up against the outside fence?
Well, that last time at the start-finish line, the middle lane had the advantage. Jared Haggerty led that lap, but now you can see the bottom side starting to take shape. Took him a little bit of time to do so, but what's some great racing up front right now. 3 wide, 3 rows deep with a couple more stragglers to the back there. The middle lane, though, good runs down the straightaways. Just unable to hang it onto it for the time being. These trucks are dancing all over the place, though, Evan. This new draft package might not quite be that good for some 3 wide action. Although the racing's been good, they look awfully jumpy out there, too, as well. Jorgensen, though, going to drop out of that 3rd lane now. So he loses help, and he's going to stick to the middle side. Middle lane, though, that's the advantage now. Here comes the 34, Sean Bounty looking for 3 wide action up towards the front.
To the outside lane, made a charge. The 88 got there, not able to completely execute. And now the 23, who's the one that really opened up the middle of the racetrack the first time, he's getting left in contact into the outside wall, up and into the fence, down the back straightaway. The caution flag is out once again, and it is Matt Quick, the one that ends up into the outside fence first, after he made a move to the outside, trying to get the middle lane to his advantage. He was okay. The 48 of Josh Ball tried to come up, take the momentum away. He wasn't quite clear. And as you take a second look at the LSRTV replay with nowhere to go, and piling into that one, the 34 of Sean Bounty and the 44, who are both up against the outside fence, David Anderson, they also get involved, and it's a 3-truck accident down in turn number 3.
Yeah, 48 Josh Ball trying to be aggressive right there to get to the outside lane, just not quite good night. Or tonight. That's 2 accidents now for both Sean Bounty and for the 89 of Matt Quick. That means it's going to be lengthy repairs if they do continue on in this one. So huge damage, another big wreck here. Third one on the night, and the only thing about that is we're only on lap number 19. Tons of time still left to go in this one, over 35 laps still left on the schedule. But the problem these guys will have, though, eventually, might possibly run out of time if we keep going with the caution flags.
Yeah, the hasn't been something that we've had to talk about in quite a little bit of time. We're 19 laps in, 56 on the evening, but again, there is a 70-minute time limit on these races. Checkered flag by length or time, whichever comes first is what ends this race, and we really haven't had to talk about this, I think, at all since the opening maybe quarter of the championship season, but already down to 45 minutes left on the clock and still well shy of reaching the halfway point in tonight's contest. We'll get there at about 8 or 9 laps or so. So I think even at this pace, we should still be good to go, but it is concerning that 3 caution flags in the opening 18 laps of competition. Your leaders on lap number 19 right now, catching up to the pace car, and we could see your leaders all decide to come down pit road again. It's been a popular place under yellow.
Yeah, majority of them did come down pit road. Looks like only 2 drivers staying out. Alex Halinar in the 64. Looks like Frank Busilia as well, but everybody else looks like they came down, made their stops on the pit lane, get more service done to their trucks, maybe some damage fixed by some of these guys involved in the accidents. For other drivers, just the opportunity to top off with fuel here as they work lap number 20, like you said. And it's just it's getting that feel, though, that for some reason nobody can, no one's patient. They're all going for the win here early on, which is kind of interesting, because I wonder if it'll roll over into the Cup race, because when you're talking the Cup race, you're talking chase racing. You're talking about a lot can happen, and a lot of drivers mistake, especially in the first race of round number 2.
So we'll see. They catch up to the pace car this time by. Going to have the option, if they want to come down pit road. We saw everybody pile in back at lap number 19, except for now your new race leader, Alex Halinar, who, again, decided to stay out. So while pit road has been busy, we have not seen everybody come down in one swing of the bat under the caution flag. Always a couple of trucks that stay out, which is, doesn't really seem that big of a deal at the moment. You can kind of just chalk it up as a strategy play for position. But again, the way these cautions are falling, I'm curious to see if some of these guys are being a little bit secretive here and pushing the numbers and trying to see what they can do on fuel. Halinar, who took over the race lead, is now back down pit road. He's going to be getting serviced this time. He'll drop back to the back, but I'm curious if anybody's making these stops for fuel. We don't know yet, but I'm certain we'll find out once we cross the halfway point and start counting down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But how about the 94 Frank Busilia involved with that wreck that didn't cause a caution? Him and Ramon Evans making contact. He came down pit road under the green flag, got the damage fixed, and when he came out, he found a caution flag. So it was good for him. He able to stay out, and he assumes the race lead here. So probably a safe spot for the 94 for the time being. A great job on pit road as well for that 8 machine of Dana Osborne. Able to pick up a couple of spots there and finds him now going to be able to restart in that second position. So great job by him. Kind of locked in where he was locked into the about the top 10, just inside the top 10. So a couple of positions moved in, and Finds himself now up towards the front of the field and gets set to get back to racing. A lot of trucks look pretty clean out there despite all the damage we've had, Evan. Obviously, these guys used up these resets rather early. Another big one's really going to knock a whole bunch of guys out of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, there's plenty of trucks on track now, and you would think the big accidents would significantly impact. There's only 2 trucks off the lead lap. Jason Altman's 1 lap down at Brandon Chaburko, who is 12 laps down. Not officially. I don't know. He is now officially behind the wall and done for the race. So he'll get a P20. But again, to the other point that you made there, early caution flags mean, okay, well, the trucks are still out there. You would think you're not going to see the 3-wad because, despite the fact that the 3-wad, I will say, Andy, has been pretty clean, the incidents are actually happening more towards the bottom or the middle of the racetrack, just guys not really getting lined up on each other and hooking each other around. It hasn't really been the 3 and 4 wide that's been the issue. You'd think, though, now that a lot of the field doesn't have a quick fix anymore, that they would take it a little bit easier on the green flag runs and at least keep it to 2 wide, maybe 3 at the max, but I wouldn't expect to see 4 wide for a little bit more. But they've been going at it since the drop of the green flag, off and on, off and on. We're going to put our 3rd caution flag behind us.
We're off on the pace car, so we get set to get back underway on lap number 22. All these damaged trucks, getting them fixed. I think maybe we'll see these guys settle down just a bit, but only time will tell in the green flag. That will tell it all right there is when we get back to it, if these guys, especially towards the back, want to look to make up some position. Some other guys decided to come down, the one to go to top off and possibly extend the run that they could do here if this does stay green. The 21, Glenn Hedrick, 13, Kelly Dahl as well, came down right there on the one to go. So those guys topping off and looking for maybe a little bit of strategy to steal one away from some of these guys up towards the front of the field, but the field definitely starting to shrink. I say that, and there's still 18 trucks on the lead lap, even though we've had 3 pretty decent-sized accidents, so that's a good thing. The car count's still up there, and surprised there's not more, actually, that have fallen out of this race yet.
Yeah, the key, though, is now, I think, getting through the middle portion of this race. And like I said, you got to get to that final bit of service. And you can go at each other all you want. If you don't make it home at that point, more power to you. But you want to be able to get into that home stretch, if you will, so that you're fighting for the win. You're battling for the race lead right now, absolutely. You're not battling for the win quite yet. The pace car going to go to the inside. 22 with the 56 laps on the board. And our Dega 149 going to drop behind us this time to the tri-oval. And for the first time this evening, it's the number 94's turn. Frank Basilia, he'll cross underneath the flag stand. Green flag back in the air.
Well, watch out for the 51. Jason Altman's with a huge run on that outside. He was trying to catch up to the field and use that to his advantage to at least catch up the speed. Decided to back off just a little bit there. Smart move by him. Could have ended up with a black flag penalty there if he kept on going, but he'll be able to get up to speed and now sits only 1 lap down to the negative. Oh, some more action. 87's around. Rod Flag down hard into the inside wall. He's going to do a couple flips. More damage and no caution.
That's the 4th truck tonight that's been up and on his lid, and the problems down the back straightaway. No caution automatically from the sim because the cars were off of the racing surface. By league protocol, though, if there is a 3 or more vehicle accident and the caution is not automatically triggered, they will throw the yellow, and with a 2-truck accident occurring down the back straightaway, we stay green.
That's the second time we've seen that so far tonight, and that actually spread the field out quite a bit here. We only got 5 trucks now battling for the race lead, a couple more just behind him there with Alex Hallinar and Glenn Hedrick trying to catch up to these guys, trying to get up into that battle for that top spot. The top spot, though, it's going to not be contested this time. The outside lane actually falls apart there. The 8 now is going to have to fall back in line, Dana Osborne, and that allows these guys to now catch back up here, and it won't be too long. We're going to have ourselves a full pack once again, but single file for now off turn 4.
Yeah, that really spread everybody out, and I think reminded these guys once again They were that close to the fourth yellow. We've had 3 yellows on the night, but again, that's the second one that we've seen down the back straightaway that has not led to a caution. So you're talking about 5 pieces of problems, and there goes the 88 Osborne, 6th time tonight. A driver's in trouble, coming out of the tri-oval, and he had a little bit of help on the outside of the racetrack. Looked like he slid up, and maybe topside came down a little bit and Glenn Hedrick. That truck spins to the inside. Again, not 3 vehicles involved. No caution. We're green again. Now they're dropping like flies.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the only good thing is there's no caution flags being flown, so we're not slowing the pace down at all. And these guys, with this draft package, this new one, I'm noticing they're being able to catch up to the pack very easily, it looks like. And maybe that's maybe a product of what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of guys getting really good runs on the packs in front of them, and they're having to make evasive moves to jump out. And that's why we have seen the 3-wide and the 4-wide action at times. So maybe just the closing rate of these of this draft package here in this new build that came out on Tuesday. These guys are trying to figure it all out. In doing so, we've had a lot of wrecks here tonight.
Yeah, it brand new as a Tuesday. And again, more contact with the 23 and the 28. They on in each other's doors in a battle for third. And again, the cosmetic changes, really the non-major factor. Again, big changes coming to the Cup cars. They're going to be doing the first week of racing with the digital dashboard. But again, the draft, I think, is the biggest change that these guys are having to deal with, and something that happens on every single build. Draft build changes a little bit. 3-wide for the race lead to the tri-oval. It's definitely racy, but very unstable.
Yeah, I mean, look at the middle lane right now, coming through. Wofford now coming to make a race of this. The closing rate from him up to the 48 of Josh Ball right there was just absolutely tremendous. Almost came out of nowhere, so I really think that this draft package is something unbelievable right here, and it looks like a lot of but more contact there off of turn number 2, and 94, Frank Basilia is going to spin it around the 28 to Shane McKeechin as well, and for the time being, caution will come out.
Yeah, 28 split back up on the racetrack, and we looked like we were going to be okay. That truck also got knocked out of line. The 94 machine again. They're just very unstable to push. 28 gets the left rear, he spins out, and then he gets spun out on the left rear by the 21. And 2 more trucks involved. We're back under yellow just as we approach the halfway point.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, we're seeing this with some of the best super speedway racers out there on the sim. We're seeing this kind of action. I would definitely not want to be involved or even watch one of those races in the official side when the trucks go to Talladega. That would be a lot of fun.
We will take lap number 28 under the caution flag. That'll mark the halfway point here from Talladega, and at that point we'll let you know what's happened in the opening 50% of this race, and we'll take a look to the run down to the checkered flag at that point. But as they get grouped up behind the American Chowder Decanter Organization Ford Mustang GT pace car in front of the field, and get set to come down pit road for some caution flag service, we'll take another opportunity to step away for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be with your iRacing Midway race break. You're watching the Dega 149, part of the Roddcar Truck Tour on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
I want to welcome you back live to the Talladega Super Speedway. We have crossed the halfway point in round number 17 of 18 out of Season 2 Roddcar Truck Tour Championship. We're happy that you're joining us for the opening part of tonight's LSRTV Live double feature here on iRacing Live. Cross the halfway point, we stop counting up, we start counting down. So let's take a look at your iRacing.com Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing, the world's premier online organized racing from NASCAR, IndyCar, the IMSA, and more. Shade Vacation, who started 18th on a provisional, he leads at lap number 30 in front of Rodney Watford at P2, exactly where the 7 machine started, and Josh Ball in 3rd, exactly where the 48 machine started. Glenn Hedrick from 19th to P4 at the moment. Alex Hallinar just behind, runs into number 5 position. 6th is Daniel Holloway. Jared Haggerty behind in the number 7 spot. 8th position to the 34 is Sean Bounty. Mark Jorgensen Jr. behind in P9, and rounding out your top 10 is championship leader Christian Peterson.
Right now, currently in the 11th spot, that's the 13 of Kelly Dahl. Ramon Evans in the 12th spot, 13th to Matt Quick. Dana Osborne runs 14th, 15th. Jason Allman's Ray Rittenauer in the 16th spot, 17th. Frank Basilia, David Anderson now in 18th. Rod Flagg currently 6 laps down in 19th. Brandon Jaburko out of this race, 21 laps down. Rounds out your 20 truck field.
And that has been a look at your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, visit iRacing.com to sign up today. You can use the LSRTV promo code by entering PR-2016 LSRTV when you register for and you can get to accompany the 13 cars and 14 tracks included with a first-time subscription. Again, that is PR-2016 LS on new iRacing memberships only. Inside of now, obviously, the second half of this race, the clock continues to tick down. The halfway point, Andy, on laps comes a little bit after the halfway point on time. It might be very close coming into the closing laps of this race. There's 28 minutes left on the board, and we sit with about 25 laps left to go.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to close in on the end of this cues here as we get set to get the second half of this race to the checkered flag, and the more time this one takes, the closer it gets to the super speedway chase race right here at Talladega as well. So lots of excitement still left to go, but first, like you said, we got to finish this one out.
Lights are off on top of the pace car, so we're going to look for another restart in this. But following what has been the 4th caution flag on the evening, we've seen many more incidents than just that number, though. A couple of smaller incidents that did not lead to a caution flag did occur. But outside of that conversation, it has been a little bit of a rough go at it for these guys. And there is no doubt that the drivers as well going to echo the thoughts of I'm sure everybody else said they want to get green flag racing in there. But again, now you're starting to get into a tricky position where you can't really take it too easy, because now you are starting to get to the point you're racing for the checkered flag. The base car going to make the sharp left-hand turn, down and away again. Let's see what McKeachin can do. The Haverline Toyota inside of the racetrack, come to the green flag. Back underway we go from Talladega.
Pretty good jump on the outside. Rodney Wofford, one of the best ones there is on the plate tracks, trying to get it done the hard way on the outside lane. He's got the help of Alex Hallinar right now behind him, and top side's going to keep the position for the time being. Off of turn number 2, though, they're going to race it out. The bottom side, the top 3 on the bottom, they're battling it out here down the back straightaway.
Nose to nose in the battle for the race lead. 3 trucks on the outside of the racetrack, all hooked up, bumper to bumper to bumper down to turn number 3. That third truck in line going to have the most difficulty being able to maintain contact in that draft, and indeed going to abandon that cause. Drop to the inside goes Jared Haggerty. An opportunity for Alex Hallinar to drop to the inside, and if he did that, he would have left Rodney Wofford at all by himself. He decides against that. He picked his poison. He's got to make that outside lane work now because the inside lane is now closed.
Yeah, it's absolutely close right now. Haggerty actually going to move back up to the top side, try to get the momentum going once again. You can see the closing rate of these guys that had fallen behind now. They're all involved in a couple accidents. He's gotten everything fixed on that truck. He finds himself now with Ramon Evans giving him a push as they continue. 6 trucks, 2x2 now up front into turn number 3.
And the 7 almost clear in the battle for the race lead. Not able to get that spot, though. And he has to stay in line on the outside of the racetrack. And the momentum swings back down to the bottom as they come through the center of the corner. Everybody tries to peek at those out, try to find where they sit in line. And a little bit of contact on the bottom. How about Josh Ball? Led this race earlier on. He's recovered from some problems. He'll beat P7 at the line.
Okay, well, he's definitely made his ground back up into this race. 83 of Ramon Evans as well, too, as he gets on the back bumper of that 48 as they work their way through the bottom side. Going to prevail just for a moment. Here comes the run now. The top side, Wofford, Hallinar, Haggerty, they're all locked together now as they race their way back to turn number 3. Be awfully close with Wofford. He's clear now. Can he drop down? He does.
Thought about it, decided to in front of the field with a push from Shada Wakichi behind. They try to run 1-2 with a turn number 4 outside those. Got a different idea. Wofford, he might not even get the bonus point this time by the 48 can knock 3 wide, and that'll take just a little bit of speed off the top side that allows Wofford to lead at the start finish line by 3 1/1000ths and 3 wide up the middle. Here comes Josh Ball and the 8 of Osborne.
That's just showing you what this draft package is. It looks like a lot of fun, but I think just getting used to it. Josh Ball able to get that middle lane, catches those guys with a little bit of gap in between on that top side, and now it's Hallinar on the 23 of Haggerty had to fall back now. They're back in line, still 2 wide, but a bold move by the 48 with the 8 of Dana Osborne as well to get themselves now to lead that outside lane, but Wofford continuing to be strong on the bottom side. Shane McKeechin all over his back bumper, trying to get more contact. Hallinar in the 27 of Daniel Holloway. He'll spin down to the apron. Caution will not come out just as of yet, but more contact from all these guys here. These trucks is looking awfully loose here.
And to turn 4, 27, he gets hit, and I don't even think he's going to get a speeding penalty. He did a couple of 360s and actually did a better job at getting down on pit road than what we've seen a couple of times under green flag pit stops at this racetrack. He's got to drive all the way through. He's going to get back out on the racetrack now. It's going to cost him tons of time. The good news is, I guess to counter the bad news that there was no caution flag, is he was able to keep it out of the fence, and if there is a yellow later on, he'll be able to get right back up there and be competitive. But for the moment, he goes well behind the lead pack, and again, that contact kind of start to recede to a single file order for just a little bit, and it leaves the 40 to Josh Ball alone, top side, the 23 sideways. Haggerty's in the grass and through pit road. That's going to be a penalty. Now Altman's racking up on the racetrack. He's hard into the outside wall.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there. Just looked like it got loose through the tri-oval there. So 3 wide still up towards the front of the field for that 4th position. But yeah, it just looks like it just plain got loose on him right there, and somewhat hanging on to it. But then the 51 Altman's all by himself as well. Just that slightest bit of movement. It looks like there's no downforce at all on the back end of these trucks. So, but a couple of incidents there is definitely going to shake things up here. 3 wide still continuing as Shane McKeechin moves up to the middle lane, gets the help from the 8 machine of Dana Osborne, but watch out for the 48-88 combo now. They're on the top side, 3 wide for the race lead.
They're going to go at it again. Doesn't matter how many trucks are left. They're going to make it work. There's 2 on the bottom, 2 in the middle, with 3 top side. Power move. Josh Ball not going to be able to get the lead, though. The 28 of McKeechin jumps down. He now leads the inside lane, and all alone up the middle is Dana Osborne in the Earnhardt Sucker hole outside into the fence. The 48, the 88, they're going to lose all their speed down the back.
Great move by the 71 to get out of the way, but just before that happened, how about the speed from the lone truck in the middle, the 8
Caution.
of Osborne, by himself using the side draft from both sides of him. His caution's out on the speedway, and once again, for something a little bit further back, could have been involved with the 88 and the 48, but how about, I just like that closing speed or the side draft speed he was able to get by himself to actually stay up there at the front.
Yeah, that was interesting, seeing what those guys could do, especially the 8 in the middle of the racetrack. And the caution is going to come for Mark Jorgensen Jr. We talked about getting into the outside fence down the back straightaway. The 88 opted to, instead of pulling down off the racetrack, to park it right there. And that's going to trigger a caution flag as it was not moving and on the racing lawn. So that's going to bring out a yellow flag at 38 laps in.
Yeah, so another flag, another yellow flag, another slowdown on the field as they're not even through 40 laps of this one. So it looks like plenty of time to get this one finished under the green flag conditions, or, well, it actually might be a yellow flag condition, but we should get the scheduled distance in here on this one, but definitely taking another big chunk at a time. And once again, I'll probably see mixed emotions here on the pit road as well. Might see some guys stay out, some guys come down, trying to maybe utilize that opportunity maybe for some track position, keep themselves up towards the front and possibly out of harm's way.
Pit road good to be open once again, as it has been on all of these restarts, and it looks like it's going to be busy. No offer jumps back out. Osborne jumps back out. In fact, everybody back to Christian Peters to stay out. P6 first truck in.
Yeah, so like I said, more mixed emotions about pit road, whether to come down or not. So a bunch of guys deciding to stay out here, using the track position over tires at this point here. But, man, I'll tell you, Evan, this just is a unbelievable, I think, draft package that they put together for these trucks. This the closing rate speed, the ability that they have with the side draft, how loose these trucks can actually get in the trial. A lot of things can happen here, and with the new build, it always brings for some interesting time the first few weeks.
Those that came down to the pit lane, not in any rush, the 71. So is the number 88 machine. Other drivers on a pit road with damage at the moment. Daniel Holloway's down for some service. So is Rod Flag. And again, still through all of this, and a couple of those names that knocked off there are technically still on the lead at the moment. But for all intent and purposes by the scoring, we still have 16 trucks out of the 20 on the lead lap.
Yeah, it's still pretty good numbers, even though all the accidents that we've seen, the big ones that we've seen over the course of the night. So it's good to see that, ability, at least under all these green flags, that these guys are able to get a lot of damage fixed as well, because we know a few of these guys had to use their reset awfully early. So it's definitely cool to see that this many trucks is able to stay on the lead lap, albeit that there's a few that are towards the back that just cannot keep up to speed, and the cautions obviously are keeping them on that lead lap.
The 20 to Shane Bakichian did not put a time down in practice, did not put a time down in the qualifying session. He leads, and he's still playing with the guys behind him on if he is going to come down on that truck. He will stay out in front of the field, and he'll bring us back to the green flag. Going to be just shy, if not right on the money at. We'll see if the lights go off at a pace car this time. Lap number 40 is complete, and the lights stay on. So it's going to be a restart inside of the final 15 laps of competition from the world's fastest speedway at NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. 2.66 miles in length. The clock begins to wind down. Laps remaining continues to wind down as we look for what could be the final restart on the day going 49. And as we pace behind a pace car at a slowed rate, just 80 miles an hour, we'll step away one more time and go LSRTV nonstop, so you don't miss a moment of the action from Talladega, Alabama. You're watching the Roddcar Truck Tour on LSRTV and iRacing Live.
While lions are notorious for their voracious appetites, they spend a great deal of time feeding other creatures. In fact, lions will take great care to ensure there's plenty to go around. As you can see, they keep giving with utter ferocity. Bravo, lions, and bon appetit. Do good, be a lion.
Back live from Talladega. Pace car gonna knock down just a moment ago. Shane McEachin, he'll once again bring us back to the green flag. Lap number 42 gonna drop behind us. Sitting now with just 14 laps to go at Talladega. Back underway.
Back underway, 14 laps, and only 14 minutes to get it done. So another caution really. The bottom side going to be able to keep it for the time being. Shane McEachin trying to get that run now on the bottom. Wofford, though, is going to have the advantage off of turn number 2. And how about the 21, Glenn Hedrick now in the mix. He's up front. He's in the top 4 as they race side by side into turn 3.
And he one of the names that was involved in some issues earlier on in this race, but has had enough yellow flags. And again, not a huge number of trucks in this race. 20 trucks took the green flag. A fair amount of them are still out on the racetrack. In fact, those 16 on the lead lap. Part of the lead draft at the moment, but that is a manageable number of trucks to be able to battle back from, get back up through, and get back into the battle for the race win, and he'll be P3 at the start-finish on as Watford leads his second lap in a row, as he also, on the outside, had the advantage coming to take the green flag. We've seen it a lot tonight, 3 wide up the middle. Rittenauer tries to force it on the inside of the 21, and that almost got ugly real quick.
Yeah, you saw the 21 actually get, it looked like he got a run, had to go up the racetrack a little bit so he didn't get into Wofford, but it opened up the hole, and that's what looked like Rittenauer was trying to take that away once again. We saw that a couple times tonight not work for those guys coming up the middle, made the contact, had some couple accidents that way, so pretty good job by Rittenauer to, burp the throttle right there, just get back in line and realize we're getting closer and closer to the finish. He's up front. You got to be up front if you want an opportunity to win this thing towards the end here. The top side has been the advantage so far over the last few laps here, only by a little bit, though. Wofford able to hang on to that race lead once again. They go back into turn number 1 and going to try and do it once again. Hedrick trying to get to that back bumper, trying to get him the run, trying to push him to the lead off turn 2.
Side by side they go, and the side draft going to start to become more and more relevant as this run continues on. Not to say that they haven't been up on each other's door, though, all night long. They're just going to start to do it a little bit more intentionally. This time by 11 laps to go, 3 wide back of the pack, and more so just falling backwards on that third most lane. Number 23, Michigan Jared Haggerty can't make the third lane start. Again, that's Brandon Chuberko's job. Normally, jump up to the third lane, make it 3 wide. Here comes Christian Peterson to the inside of the 80 out of Matt Quick and to the outside of Kelly Dahl, and we're 3 wide with 11 to go.
Yeah, we are. How about the teammates now trying to work the outside line together? Ray Rittenauer goes up there to help his teammate out, gets Matt Quick. Now they're going to have to form up, see if they can not catch some speed right now, because right now they're falling back just a little bit. Wofford, though, a huge run off turn 2 down the straightaway. Here comes Peterson now, 3 wide for second into turn 3.
and they're all going to squeeze to turn 3 behind the 48 Josh Ball sideways to the apron, still in the grass in the center of the corner, and he is going to hang on to the Cobalt Chevrolet. No caution and out problems up in front of the field, into the outside wall, and a turn 4 is Hedrick.
Yeah, Glenn Hedrick right there, up into the wall, contact between him and I think it was a 51 of Altman's, and that's going to send him up in the wall. No spin, no caution. Lap number 87, or 47, I should say, Ray Rittenhouse. And trying to get to the front, and like we're going to have some connection.
Leaders back on the racetrack, a small technical issue that didn't allow us to see those trucks for a small moment, but they're still out there on the racetrack going at it. And 3 wide once again, Haggerty on the outside. He'll drop back down to the middle lane. 2 wide, 3 rows deep in front of the field at 9 to go.
Oh, caution is out.
Caution going to come down from the tower. For the small connection. But there again, the drivers on the racetrack, some of them were still able to see each other, some were not. You did see that they went away on our end of things. We came for 5 position, I think, is where you saw 3 wide with the 26 way to the outside of the racetrack. However, with that being said, the caution flag is going to come back out at lap number 48, and this is going to set us up for maybe a 3-lap to go restart late in this race. And once we get to that point, it is going to be guaranteed to be the final restart on the evening. But this caution flag is for that connection break inside of the sim, and a caution out to obviously give, I guess, a fair advantage or a fair shot per is put you.
One final restart, one opportunity to possibly not get all the scheduled distance in as well. So these guys have their work cut out for them here. Obviously, under the caution flag, it's going to give us about 2 or 3 laps, at least maybe 4, which is going to knock off almost 8 minutes. And there's only about 9 left in the server, so it's going to be awfully close here to get the rest of this thing in.
Also, can it become? Do we see any pit stops? Leader's going to go by the exit of the pit lane at 10 by, and I'm not necessarily guaranteed that pit road is open. I think it was. A couple of guys towards the back of the back come in. Shade McKeachin, actually first driver in, was running in the number 6 position at the time. But I think I would be in agreement with most of the other drivers that at this point you want track position more than tires.
Yeah, you're getting down to the end lane. I mean, listen, the closing rate, there's no doubt about it. The 28 could definitely get back up in there and fight for a solid finish here in this one. But with still 16 trucks on the lead lap, track position at this point with the laps winding down, with the time running down in the server as well, probably a good call to stay out. So the 28 making the choice to come down. Still has the opportunity, though, I think, to get himself a decent finish. But we will have to see how that plays out for Shane McKeachin.
Yeah, Rodney Wofford, the man that is known best to be able to dominate Daytona. He's out in front when it matters late at Talladega. It's going to be a final restart inside of the final 5 laps where a caution would end it. The goal, get to the white flag. At that point, you could race it out regardless of the circumstances. But it definitely is going to be the final restart on the race. And at this point, you thought that they were going aggressive when they were 3 and 4 wide earlier. They're really going to give it to each other when we do go back into green flag conditions. It's going to be going for broke. It's now or never. How about Christian Peterson talking about how he was just trying to get through this race? Where he sits now should be able to secure him that championship going into Homestead next week. We will make the official call to make sure that nothing else happens with the drop weeks. Again, 17 starts when you include tonight. So out of the 16 races they've done so far, they have had their best 14 results counted so far towards the championship picture, but it should be a fairly clear and cut-dry scenario when we head to Miami-Dade County next week for the season finale. And the second-to-last race also on the Ice Super Speedway calendar next Friday right here on LSRTV at our regular time, with action kicking off at 8 o'clock Eastern. But he'll be to the inside of row number 2 starting in 3rd. He could win this thing after being involved in trouble early. I think that's about the story for most guys up front.
Yeah, it definitely is. We saw the 87 of Rittenauer also getting in accidents. The 71 of Christian Peterson was involved in a couple as well. Of course, Haggerty was also. So definitely a full circle for all these guys that are still left in this race, having themselves caught up in accidents, feeling probably that they didn't have an opportunity to win this one or even have a solid finish, and now they find themselves here with 6 laps to go when we get the green flag. They'll have the opportunity to get the job done, especially with this interesting draft package, we'll call it, with the closing rates these guys have on each other. It's going to definitely be a wild finish to this one.
Lap number 50 in the works right now, and I think you're just, and I mean just, going to squeak in. We might not even get to the end of this one. We've got 5 minutes, 8 seconds left on the clock. The lights are still on top of the pace car at the moment. If they go out the next time by, you're still looking at about 1 minute 58 seconds, a caution lap to get around. That's going to leave you with 3 minutes. You're not running much quicker than 53 seconds. I don't think, Andy, we're going to get to 56.
It's going to be awfully close. We're at about 1 hour and 3 minutes right now. Hour, 4 minutes, 6 minutes or so left in the server. Obviously, a little bit less with this lap going to be counted here. So, yeah, it's going to be awfully close if we do get the last 6 laps in. So that's what's going to make it even that much more important to try to get this race lead here in the first couple laps on this restart.
We'll find out what the timetable is going to be this time by. We follow the pace car through and across the start-finish line. We're going to find out how many laps are going to be left to go. Lights on the pace car, they remain on, and that may run out of time. You're talking about 1 minute and 58 seconds, basically a 2-minute pace lap. There's 4 minutes left on the board. We would take the last time by for Ronnie Watford, Andy. His pace lap was 2 minutes flat. We got 4 minutes left on the board almost immediately as they came by the stripe. It could come down to if the clock expires or if the clock gets low enough for them to toss the checker as they were to come to take the green, or if taking the green would be the white flag.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Probably, yeah, like a lot of these guys say, maybe 2 laps to go here when they get the green flag. So it's going to be I don't know what's going on here because I just saw Sheehan McEachin, not sure exactly what the 28 was doing right there, but raced up past the field and rage quit. So he's all done. He's going to park it for the night, but he had the opportunity maybe to get a solid finish here. Not going to happen for the 28. So Rodney Watford has one opportunity here.
Yes, the race is done with. So we're going to find out this time by. The lights on the pace car should go out unless the time itself is what prevented the lights from going out the last time by. And it's just going to ride us out under yellow. But we're going to find out. We're going to see what happens here. Clock, 2 minutes, 27 seconds left. As we come to take the one to go, we believe Rodney Watford. I'm sure he would love to put on a show for the end, but I would also put money on the fact that if this race were to end at a caution, he would not object to those circumstances. We're going to find out. The pace car lights are out, and we're going to get at least 1 lap.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think we'll be able to tell what flag is being thrown, though, so this is going to be definitely an interesting finish to this one here. So at least a 1-lap shootout for these guys, possibly 2. We'll have to see exactly how everything fails out here, but it looks like it might only be 1 because when they come to take that green flag here, literally they probably got about probably 1 minute on the thing. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly how it's going to end up, but you're going to see a mad dash for the front of the field, I think.
And I think a question that you could pose is how wide are we going to be into turn 3? If this is the last lap and it's going to be a 1 to go, and again, we're going to have to find out because, again, really the sim going to play it by the numbers. It's going to come down to when they cross the line. It'll be no more than 2 laps, but it should be just a 1 lap to go restart. We'll let you know once race control makes the decision where we sit in this race. Again, the white flag could even come out halfway down the back straightaway. It's been known to happen in some of these pressure-packed situations where the time is running down. But the biggest thing is, Andy, they're going to be up to speed by the time they get to turn 4, it's hard to make a pass when you're not up and running on all cylinders, getting up to speed, because we know on the restarts, the inside has such an advantage. The outside may.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's going to be, for teammates up on the top side, it's going to be fun to see how quickly they can get hooked up, how quickly they can get up to speed. But the pace car's off for the final time here, Evan.
Pace car to the inside. Who's going to end up walking away with the checkered flag here tonight from Talladega? Green flag back in the air. Final restart on the night. Rodney Wofford on the inside by 1 truck length.
Got the advantage now as they head off into turn number 1. Matt Quick trying to get his teammate the push he needs. Altman's there as well. Here comes the 8. Down the back stretch.
Greg Race down the back straightaway. Rodney Wofford on the inside. Ray Rittenauer on the outside of the racetrack, and he's got support from the number 89 behind him at Quick. But the inside, they've got just too many trucks in line, and I don't think the Ray Rittenauer will be able to get to him. Off of turn number 4, the 71. He'll stay glued to the back of the number 7. Into the tri-oval they come. Wofford on the bottom has contact behind. Rittenauer going to crash to the outside. Just moments shy of the white flag. Caution flag is out. The clock strikes 0. And Rodney Wofford going to win this one at Daytona. If they had an extra maybe 0.2 of a second, they would have been able to race it out to the end. Christian Peterson not going to be given that opportunity. Wofford going to lock it up.
He's going to lock it up. A great win for him, a great recovery for the number 7 to Rodney Wofford, able to, after getting involved in a couple of accidents, able to get himself up there with the opportunity here at the end, and he's going to get himself the win here tonight in a great way to get the night started off here at Talladega as well.
Yeah, it's just 1 of 2. The big one going to be coming up next in the iSuper Speedway Championship. If you remember, and if you haven't tuned in a little bit, we had 16 drivers vying for a spot in the championship fight. And now it's just Malone, Ball, Berger, Bounty, Basilia, and Peterson. Rodney Wofford, he's just racing for the trophy. He is one of those big names that was eliminated from competition just 1 week ago. So Wofford is going to bring it through to the front straightaway. He'll officially take the checkered flag this time.
That he will. Coming down, get his, I think, the first win of the season as well for him in the truck series. So Rodney Wofford gets the job done, gets another win here in the trucks at Talladega, and he'll do it under the caution flag here and under a shorter distance as well. He crosses the start-finish line and gets the win here at Dega.
He gets the job done. The number 7, after starting in the number 2 spot, he'll get the job done, and he's going to burn it down from Talladega. Rodney Wofford, your winner. He celebrates down on the inside of the corner. A well-deserved victory in a very stressful situation late, I think, no doubt. But he was in the right spot at the right time. He made the move for what was going to be the race win, but he had to before the what was now the second to last caution, as they finally had one final wreck right before they came to take the white flag. But Rodney Wofford, he could not be stopped, and he gets the job done. A good comeback for the 7, and he's going to end up in victory lane tonight for the first race of 2 from Talladega. We're going to take a very quick opportunity, step aside, and come back, wrap things up, and we're going to get you set for the second part of tonight's doubleheader to the Talladega race. Your winner, and in fact, going to catch up with him right now on the radio. Rodney Wofford, it's Evan Pizzoco and Andy Kessler topside. You got a copy?
You have a copy?
Devo, hey, congratulations. Getting the job done, man. That was interesting. We knew it was going to be a new build. Going to be a little bit of an interesting week nonetheless, just a couple of days off of the build. But that looked very dangerous out there in the draft.
Yeah, it was for sure. Got caught up in the beginning, just hung out in the back, and ended up making it back to the front. Had several problems, and had CP there at the end to help, and big thank you to him.
A lot of up and down through the standings all night long. Did you notice anything different with the trucks out there in the draft as far as the bump drafted? Because we know that these trucks are a little bit more controlled, if you will, than the Cup cars. But out there, it sounded like once somebody got on somebody's bumper, they were just all over the place.
It seemed the same to me as it has been for, since we've had that build come out where the truck's pretty much on top of each other. When you're in a pack, you're in a pack. And when you're behind someone, yeah, you can get all swervy and whatever. It's the same.
Coming to that final restart, the clock's winding down. You really don't know when the white flag and the checkered flag are going to come out. What was going through your head there, Lee?
I actually don't know. I was just chilling.
Like I'll say that chilling and not having to worry about it, you had just about as much information as we did, because it was coming down to the end of this one, and the caution comes out just before we technically get the white flag in the air, and are able to coast to the win tonight at Talladega. I know you would like to get the one later on tonight, and we'll let you get ready for that one here coming up in just about 30 minutes time, Ronnie. Before we let you go, who do you want to thank down here from Victory Lane?
I want to give a big thanks to my dad, my brother, my mother, my nieces. I got to give a thanks on my painter, Chris, for this paints. His wife, Derek, Greg, Corey, everybody, CP, big thank you to him, everyone here, Rod, and you guys.
Chat, Ronnie, again. The chase, and we know that while you would like to be battling for the championship, you're going to go to play sport and get best of luck.
Thank you, bud.
It's your winner tonight in the Roddcar Truck Tour. Ronnie Watford gets the job done. P2 to him, Christian Peterson, Andy Kessler's trackside.
I'm down here on pit road with driver in the 71, Christian Peterson. And how about it? One of those nights you want to survive, you want to get as many points. It did have a couple accidents.
Another good point tonight. Race was crazy again, as they have seemed to be here at the restrictor plate tracks in the past couple weeks. For me, at least, I don't know. I try to stay out of trouble, and somehow still found myself in it. Usually early in the stages, but we got the fast tow that we had, and 71 team patched her up nice and purdy, brand new actually. And we went out and tried to get the W there at the end, but I wanted to get a solid points and not. I had a little front end damage with got into Mark on the backstretch. I think him and Ball got together and they both hit the wall, and I got into the back of them and gave me some front end splitter damage. So I thought that was going to hurt me a lot, but I didn't feel confident enough in the truck at speed at the time. Right at the end there to jump up in front of the top line and try to go around Rodney. I didn't think it was going to be a good enough thing a piece out front to get the lead. So I was comfortable with second.
Yeah, we talk about the championship points battle that basically is not, and obviously a win here tonight helps with that here. Looks like you'll have it locked up pretty much when we go to Homestead next week, and talk about how cool that is to get the championship here in only the second season of the trucks.
Is it locked up for sure?
It was over 50-something points, so coming into tonight. So with the drops, it should be pretty close because we haven't had a full field yet this year.
That's cool. That's awesome then. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do it last season, with the kind of choked there at the end, So it's nice to get one under the belt. It'll be cool.
It absolutely will be. We'll be able to crown you, though, next weekend, or next Friday night, I should say, from the Homestead Miami Speedway. But quick opportunity, Christian, give your chance for some sponsor shout-outs here, getting you in second place tonight.
Just everybody on Six Man Inc., Seth, Kyle Manger. We reunited with a buddy of ours, Mark Walls, which was pretty cool recently. So to be in the open stuff. P Money Designs, Preston Partis, go check them out on YouTube. And Rod for putting on the league.
There you have it, second place finish. Pretty much just sewed it up for the championship run here tonight with the second place finish. We'll see you next week at the Homestead, but we'll also see you in about a half hour's time here for the chase race here at Talladega.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, Andy.
No problem. There you have it, Christian Peterson getting the job done with the second place finish. We'll slide over real quick here. We'll talk to Jared Haggerty. He came home in the third spot here tonight, and for Jared Haggerty, a solid run for him to get him into this position. But Jared, talk about this night, kind of up and downs pretty much for everybody throughout the field. A couple accidents involved with yourself as well, but you were able to come home with a third place finish.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild night. I mean, I've been off for 2 weeks, so this is my first race back. But it was a really, really wild night. I mean, we were up, we were down, we were sad. I mean, it was just up and down, crazy night. But overall, we came in third, so I think it was a good night for us.
Yeah, it's definitely a good night when you can get the finish that you want to get. See the up and down draft package, maybe the package with the shed. It seemed like something was different with the trucks. Either the closing rate was much more, or the side draft was much more visible, because we saw some guys even by themselves in that middle lane able to make some noise.
Oh, yeah, the draft definitely took a effect on this because able to pull. The draft, it really played effect. I mean, I know y'all could see me. I was going there by myself on the outside a few times, but overall, I think the draft package is actually really good for this. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season here. I think we got like 1 or 2 races left, Andy. I don't know. You got to correct me on that.
Well, you've been off for a couple. We got one more next week, next Friday night at the Homestead. Be able to crown our champion next week as well. So just one more to get it done. Get yourself another solid run here before the season's out. But you get a third place here tonight, Jared. Sponsor shout-outs. Who helps you get it done?
Well, all you guys up here in the booth, Rod for sure, and teammates tonight, Kelly Dahl, Ramona Evans, and Daniel Holloway. They really helped me there. We had a few pit calls, which we all mutually came to, and that really helped us in the long run. But thanks to those guys, thanks to y'all, and thanks to Rod. Thanks everybody watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
There you have it. Congratulations again, Jared, with the third place finish here tonight. But that's going to wrap it all up here from Talladega for at least the first round. We got the doubleheader coming up in just a moment, Evan, and it should be a lot of fun with the Cup cars as well.
Well, Ronnie Wofford's been in victory lane next Friday night for your Truck Series Championship, with Christian Peterson should mathematically be your champion after 17 of 18 races. That does it, though. Not yet, though, on the evening from Talladega. Truck Series action complete right back here in Talladega, Alabama. In 20 minutes' time, it's the Talladega round of the Ice Super Chase, and it's going to be a thrilling one, and we hope to see you then. Until then, we want to thank you for tuning in, though, to this presentation of the Roddcar Truck Tour on LSRTV, and on behalf of everybody behind the scenes at LSRTV LLC, and for the broadcast crew tonight, myself, Evan Pasoko, for Andy Kessler, and producer Cisco Scaramuza, we want to congratulate Rodney Wofford for getting the W in the Dega 149. The main event next in 20 minutes' time from Talladega, Alabama. It's the iSuper Chase right here on LSRTV and iRacing Live. We'll see you in just a few.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented under the authority of LSRTV LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form, nor the accounts and descriptions of this event disseminated in any way without the express written permission of Live Sim Racing TV. LSRTV would like to thank its loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.